Hey guys, good morning. It's your girl SeekretD coming to you today with Strawberry's letter response, right? So I don't remember the title. I'm gonna just make it quick because I want to go back to bed and try to get to sleep, right? So I'm trying to work on the sound. I'm not driving. The heat is not on, so I'm gonna try to speak a little bit louder too. Let's get to it. So okay. Don't ask me how I forgot that fast, but here we go. This lady writes in and she's talking about this guy she's dating. It's a little bit all over the place, but we're going to try to make it make sense just for the sense of this conversation. So she said she met this guy at work. She knew him from work, so we'll start there. So this guy was always in the street and said like a lot of women wanted him because they assumed he had money because he was always in the club and all this good stuff. But she knew better because she knew him from work. She said they had sex one time and she told him that it's not going to happen again. And she kind of gathered herself. So I guess she fell for his charm or whatever it is he had going on. And she was like, nah, we not doing it because we know he for the streets, right? So fast forward, and apparently he left her job, got a new job, and asked her to be his man, right? I mean, asked her if he could be her man. So now they're in a relationship. So he confided in her that he was, he had a lot of women. He was in the streets, in the sheets, and all them good stuff, a lot. So he told her that he did that because his soul was not right with God, and so he was a man whore, for lack of better words, right? So she said, okay. She see the change. He became a homebody. He wasn't in the street. He wasn't in the club. Fine. So here's the issue. Now she's noticing his phone is going off, mad text. And he's like, oh, it's an old buddy. Now, with all the honesty the title of the letter is How Honest is Too Honest. So with all the honesty he's doing, being honest about being a man whore and sleeping with God knows how many women and all this good stuff and changing his ways to be in the house with her, why are you lying now that somebody's blowing up your phone via text message, you saying it's your old buddy? She knows it's a lie, right? So apparently one night they're watching TV, movie, whatever, and they're at home and his phone is blowing up again. And she said he's sounding real nervous, he's looking a little nervous, and then he gets up and she hears like moving around and all this good stuff, and she said he looks a little nervous. Then she hears banging on the door. So she said that he looks nervous, and she's looking like, okay, like, should I be scared? Like, what the H, because that's what she said, is going on? Like, why am I hearing banging on the door and you not opening the door? Listen, my man tells her that he has an old friend, female, that he used to sleep with, who's in town, and they used to play a game when they was messing with each other. She would come into town, bang on the door, act like a robber or some shit, and then they would have like mind-blowing crazy sex. She said eventually he didn't answer, the banging stopped, and then the person left, and that was it. Like, they just continued their night. Now she wants to know if she should be able to trust him. I mean, that was a lot. That was a lot. First of all, if somebody's banging on the door and you're not opening the door and you claim you know who it is and it's supposed to be somebody from your past, and you can't open that door and say, hey, da-da-da, because that person probably was also blowing up your phone, and you should have told them, like, listen, I'm in a relationship, I'm not for these cat and mouse games anymore. The end. Like, that person shouldn't even made it to your door, because you should have had good communication enough to let them know that you're not about that life anymore. So something there is not sitting right with me personally, right? So okay, you being honest, it was this chick at the door, this, that, and the third. But the dishonesty is not it, because whoever's blowing me text message saying it's your old buddy, it's not. It's a woman. So why'd you lie about that? And then the fact that this lady shows up at your door, supposedly unannounced, which I don't believe that, and you're just not going to answer the door, just going to ignore it and wait for her to leave, and then tell me some story about how it's a game y'all used to play and then have mind-blowing sex. But you're not going to address it. You're not going to text her. You didn't reach out to her. So she's just going to come in town, show up at your door without telling you that she's coming to town? I don't believe it. So I think something's going on. I wouldn't trust him. I feel like I just went through too much, so that whole thing is kind of like, it's not making sense. Like, if everything was making sense, I'd be like, okay, boom, fine. But that's just not making sense, so I wouldn't trust it. But I've learned my lesson from trusting shit that didn't make sense 100%. So now I don't trust shit that don't make sense 100%. You might not have that experience, so you might trust this 50% make sense shit. I don't. Y'all can let me know what y'all think. I don't trust the man. I think something's going on. Even if he's not sleeping with the woman, he's communicating or something, because that don't make sense. Because if you're not talking to her, if you didn't speak to her, how do you know who exactly is at the door? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff is not making sense. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Y'all let me know how y'all think about it. What y'all think about it? What would y'all do? Would y'all trust him? Do you think she's making sense? You think he's making sense? You think I'm making sense? Whatever y'all think, let me know. Bye. I'm going to try to go back to sleep, but I doubt I'm be able to.